I'm Anil Kumar. Welcome to my YouTube channel and the website Global Math Institute. The good news here is that we have already organized 7,000 of our 20,000 videos on YouTube, and this organized list of videos will help all the students globally. The website will be free for all times to come for students to watch these videos. Now we are adding chapter by chapter. We're not talking about solving equations. I have taken up special equations where we have two absolute functions as shown. With the help of these three examples, we'll try to understand the concept of how to solve such equations. Solve the following equations. Absolute value of 2x minus 5 is equal to absolute value of x. We also say modulus, right? So the two terms used here are modulus or absolute. Okay. So both mean the same thing. So these are always positive values. So when we say modulus or absolute values, let's remember that if I say minus x, absolute value is x, and plus x, absolute value is also x. Correct? That is important to understand. Another thing is that the absolute value square is always equal to x square. So these are the two things which we'll keep in mind while solving all the equations. Now, since we have these two things, you can now understand that we also have two methods, right? So we'll have method 1 and method 2. Based on what choice you make, I'll illustrate in this particular video, and then we'll move forward using one of the method at any time to solve the other two questions. So the very first question which we need to solve is absolute value of 2x minus 5 is equal to absolute value of x. Now we can actually split this into two equations and say 2x minus 5 is equal to x, or we can also solve for 2x minus 5 equals to minus x. So that is what we mean. So if I use the first method, which is the absolute value of minus x and plus x, both are x. In that case, it makes sense, right? So solving the first one, we get 2x, bringing x to this side, minus x is equal to 5, and that is x is equal to 5, right? That is one solution. On the other hand, we get 2x plus x equals to 5, and that gives you 3x equal to 5, or x is equal to 5 over 3. So these are the two solutions. Let's make a quick check on this, right? So let's check it before we move forward. So we have x value of 5. So if I write 2 times 5 minus 5. So that means what? That means absolute value of 5, which is 5. On the other hand, we have x equals to 5 over 3. So we could write 2 times 5 over 3 minus 5. Absolute value. Correct. So that gives you 2x. X is 5 over 3, right? So 10 over 3 minus 15, right? Over 10 minus 15 over 3, which is minus 5 over 3. So which could be written as 5 over 3. So when x is equal to 5 over 3, we do get 5 over 3. So both are correct answers. Is that clear to you? Right? So we have two solutions to this. Now, let us use the second method to find the solution of the same equation. The equation again is absolute value of 2x minus 5 equals to absolute value of x. Now we are saying that square of this is equal to square of the other one. That is to say, 2x minus 5 absolute value square should be equal to absolute value x squared. So we'll square this. 2x, minus 5. Minus 5 whole square equals to x squared. Let us expand. So we get 4x squared minus 4 times 5 is 20. X plus 25 is equal to x squared. Or 4x squared minus x squared minus 20x plus 25 is equal to 0. That gives you 3x squared minus 20x plus 25 equals to 0. Now to solve this, we need to factor this equation, right? So 5 times 3 is 75, and we have 5 times 3 is 75. To get 75 and 20 here, what are the two numbers which can help us to get 75? So we could have both negative 15 and 5, right? So 15 and 5 can work for us. So we'll split 20 as a combination of 15 and 5. So we get 3x squared minus 15x minus 5x plus 25 equals to 0. So I'm just squeezing that in. So we can take 3x common, and we have x minus 5. Here we can take minus common, rather minus 5 common. So we get x minus 5 equals to 0. So x minus 5 is a factor, and the other factor is 3x minus 5 equals to 0. And that clearly gives you the solution, that is x equals to 5 or x equals to 5 over 3. Is that clear to you? So that is how we can actually solve any equation as given here by two methods. So the first one, as we discussed here, you just solve it like a linear equation, but take plus and minus value. The other one, you could square both sides and then do it. Does make sense to you, right? So for the first one, we get x is equal to 5 or 5 by 3, right? So these are the two solutions for the first equations. Now let's adopt one of these strategies to solve the second question. Now let us take the second question, which is absolute value of 3 minus 2x is equal to absolute value of x plus 1. So I feel that the method of using linear equations is much simpler, and therefore I'll adopt to that technique. So we can write this as absolute value of 3 minus 2x is equal to absolute value of x plus 1. So we could write this in two ways, because this value of 3 minus 2x could be negative of this or positive. So we'll solve for 3 minus 2x is equal to x plus 1, and also 3 minus 2x is equal to minus of x plus 1. Does make sense to you? So these are the two equations which we are going to solve to get complete solution of the given equation, where two modulus functions are used, right? So we have used our first method. Let's solve it. Taking all these terms to the right side will make this positive. So I'll just, we can take the numbers on this side. So anyways, so it's better to write 3 minus 1 equals to x plus 2x. And 3 minus 1 is 2. So 2 equals to 3x, or we get 2 over 3 equals to x. So that is one solution. On the other hand, we have minus x in this. We can take this to the right side. So we get 3 equals to minus x minus 1, and that becomes plus 2x. Bringing this 1 to the left side, we get 3 plus 1 equals to minus x plus 2x, which says 4 is equal to x. So we get x equals to 4 as the other solution. Correct? So we have two solutions here, x equals to 4 and x equals to 2 over 3. Now what you could do here is that you could check these solutions whether they do make sense or not. Perfect. So you can do that part on your own. Both should work for you. Correct? So we have two solutions here, and the solutions are x is equal to 2 over 3 or x is equal to 4. Right? So that is how we could solve it. Now let's take the last question, which is absolute value of 2x minus 1 is equals to 3 times absolute value of x plus 2. So once again, we'll use the linear equations. So we can write this as 2x minus 1 equals to 3 times x plus 2. That is one equation. And the other one could be 2x minus 1 equals to minus of 3 times x plus 2. Perfect. So that should give you the result. Now, let's open the brackets, bring the terms together. So we have 2x minus 1 equals to 3x plus 6. Now, bringing the numbers to the left side, we get minus 6 minus 1 equals to 3x minus 2x. Or the value of x is minus 7. On the other hand, what we have here is 2x minus 1 equals to minus 3x minus 6. So that gives you 2x plus 3x equals to 1 minus 6, or 5x equal to minus 5, or x is equal to minus 1. Correct? So we have two solutions here. One is x is equal to minus 1, and the other one is x is minus 7. So in this case, let us check. So if I check for x equals to minus 7, so what I get here is absolute value of 2 times minus 7 minus 1, which is minus 15, and that is equal to plus 15. On the right side, we have 3 times minus 7 plus 2. Right? So I should write absolute value, right? 3 times like this, correct? So we get 3 times absolute value of minus 5, which is also 15. So as you can clearly see, both left side and right side are equal. Let us check for x equals to minus 1. So we have absolute value of 2 times minus 1 minus 1, which is absolute value of minus 3, which is equal to 3. On the right side, we have 3 times absolute value of minus 1 plus 2, which is 3 times absolute value of 1, which is equal to 3. Right? So we have 3 equals to 3 as the result. So both left side and right side are equal for the two answers. So I hope that makes sense. So with the help of this strategy, that the absolute value of x is basically both negative and positive, correct? So the strategy which we will normally use is that when I have absolute value of x, it is also equal to absolute value of minus x. And that helps to solve all the questions which are of the form given here. I hope that makes sense. Feel free to write your comment, share your views, and if you like and subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. Thanks for your time and all the best.